Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So, in today's video, we've got 2022 Ford F-150 that has a Sync 4 system that we're going to be reviewing. This Sync 4 system in the Ford F-150 sports a 12-inch screen display, which is ginormous compared to the 8-inch one that I'm used to in my 2019 Mustang GT. The Sync 4 system in Ford vehicles started from 2020 model years, and it was kind of rolled out depending on the model. So F-150 got it in 2021, and this one, 2022, has it as well. Slowly they're rolling it out, so hopefully the next Mustang is going to have it. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to be reviewing the Sync 4 system, and I'll be comparing to my Sync 3 and see how much of a difference there really is coming from one system to another. Sync 4 is a completely revised system. It's much faster, supposed to be much more responsive, and has compatibility for bigger screen sizes than what you get with the Sync 3. With that being said, let's dive right into the video. Alright, so this is what the main screen looks like. You've got your audio, phone, navigation, audio sources, app settings, features, and all these tabs. It looks somewhat of a familiar face with similar to the Sync 3 system, and that way it's kind of good because you're not getting a completely new system and having to relearn everything if you're already a Ford user. All right, so we'll go tab by tab for each of them and just kind of go over what features there are. Okay, let's look at the audio tab of the Sync 4 system. It looks very similar to the Sync 3 system, which is a compliment because everything is laid out perfectly where you kind of expect it to be. The biggest thing is these tiles, which are fully customizable. I'll show that to you later in the video. But because it's a bigger screen, 12-inch versus 8-inch, you're able to have those tiles. Now, if you go in sources, you've got AM, FM, Sirius XM, and of course the Bluetooth audio to be able to connect your phone. Now, the other thing that this has also is the browse feature, which if you have the XM radio, if you click on here, it will curate some playlists for you on the For You page. But you also have the option to kind of do music, sports, news, and talk shows, depending on what you want. Now here at the bottom, you see an AM and FM slider, which is actually pretty smooth to operate and has all your stations right there. Overall, I think this Sync 4 looks very good in terms of the audio tab. I love how it has the tiles on the side, which are fully customizable. Now let's take a look at the phone tab. Again, you see the tiles are still there. You can connect your phone, you can add a phone, and basically the tiles remain. So this one, we have the navigation tab right now, but as you see those arrows, I'm going to use those to kind of go through the screen. You've got the trip meter, you got miles per gallon. Here you've got the truck itself, which is a very nice feature. And then you can have the different behaviors, so like acceleration, off-roading, all of that. This would depend on vehicle to vehicle because these things wouldn't be on the Mustang, for example, once they get the Sync 4 system. All of that, I mean, you're fully customizable. Whatever you want, it will be there. Next up is the navigation tab. You've got a side menu, like a quick menu that you can use. The screen is really big, so the map looks amazing, zooming in and out, and just basically panning right and left. It's very smooth operation, that thanks to the Sync 4's updated processor that allows you to do all of those tasks very smoothly. Here in the search feature, you can search gas stations, food, recents, but let's try to type out a destination to see how long it takes for it to really pick it up and what the menu looks like. So there's a Holiday Inn nearby, so I'm going to try to search it up to see if it pops up and how the direction features basically look like. So as you can see, I tap on the Holiday Inn right here, and it shows me it's about 3 minutes away. You can actually call from here. You can avoid 4x4 roads. Not sure why that would be the case for the Holiday Inn, but you can certainly do that and it will avoid that. Here we've got standard. You can add a stop, just an overview of the maps. You can turn on and off the voice, the ETA, all the basic stuff you kind of expect it to be. But the fact of the matter is that it's a very smooth operating navigation, which is not something you can be said for older navigation systems. Now let's move on to the audio sources here. This is very similar to what we just looked at. You've got AM, FM, Sirius XM, and the Bluetooth radio, which is what we saw in the audio tab as well. Next up, we've got apps, which has basically your mobile app that you can use the Ford Pass app to download the apps from, or you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all of that stuff that if you have the apps downloaded, like if I was connected with my phone, it would show me the apps downloaded on my Ford Pass app. Same goes for the CarPlay. If it's plugged in, it will show you that. Next up, we've got settings. You've got the XM radio settings, phone list, navigation, sound settings, vehicle, clock, general stuff, profiles, all of that stuff, which is a pretty standard thing. But all of these settings are very similar to what I've seen on my Sync 3 system, and it has basically everything in one place, which is very nice. So you can change those settings within those tabs like navigation and audio, or you can just come to the general settings and make changes. Like on sound, I don't need to go through audio. I can just change it from here. You got the balance, fade, tone settings, and all of that, like stereo mode.
You can kind of adjust it, where the speaker is directionally going to be. Are they going to be in the front? Are they going to be in the rear? If you click on vehicle, you've got, depending on what vehicle it is, you've got easy entry and exit, rear occupant alert, which is specific to the Ford F-150, customize your Mach-E, and just got a bunch of options like with the ambient lighting, the lighting itself, power tailgate, of course, specific to F-150. Wouldn't find it in other vehicles, but depending on what vehicle it is, Sync 4 will have it specific to that vehicle where it would have all these settings. Like this one has mirror setting as well because it comes with the auto fold mirrors. If I tap on mirrors, it's going to have the auto fold option, which won't be available in the Mustang because we don't have power folding mirrors. I think overall it tailors it to the specific vehicle. There's a lot more settings in there that you can play with, and just looking at the clock, basic stuff. You got general settings here as well, and you've got your display, connectivity, hotspot, valet mode, road assistance, system updates, which is it will update on its own too, so you can click on automatic updates. It will connect to the Wi-Fi and do automatic updates, so you don't have to worry about updating to things 4.1, 4.2 systems, and basically will do everything on your own. Here we've got the display brightness. It does have something interesting, which is the comm screen. If you tap on that, you just have the basic information, just the clock, the date, and that's all. But if you tap it, it will come back to the actual screen. So maybe if you're taking a road trip, you don't want all that noise, you can definitely do that. Now, looking at the features tab on the Ford F-150, again, it's very specific to the vehicles. So here we've got driver assistance, depending on what your Ford F-150 is equipped with. You've got all these safety features like reverse brake assist, cross traffic alert, pre-collision assist, speed limit assist, lane keeping system. All of that is part of Ford's package of the safety driver features that it's got, which are starting to become more standard. Here we've got running boards, again specific to F-150. You can activate them because these are power running modes, and you got a bunch of settings how you want it to kind of come out. Pro power on board. This has the Pro power on board that you can kind of measure the watts and what it's outputting. You've got generator mode as well, and you've of course got some zone lighting, again specific to F-150. You can turn it on and off from here. Very nice. The towing right here, you've got a bunch of settings for the towing. So basically I like how the features tab is specifically tailored to that specific vehicle. Like the owner's manual is there too, so you don't need to worry about Googling something and trying to find out. Here you've got everything. You can search it up if you're looking for a specific topic. You can search up, or it gives you some categories that you can basically dive into and find what you're looking for. The tiles I mentioned earlier in the video are actually fully customizable, and you can also rearrange them however you want to. So if you use audio a lot more than say navigation, you can make sure it's one of the first few tiles that pops up. That way it's easy accessible and you don't have to tap the button multiple times to get to where you want it to be. Well guys, that's pretty much what I've got for the Sync 4 system. I think my overall impression is that I like how Ford has kept the Sync 4 system relatively similar to the Sync 3 system. It's got similar layout, it's got everything basically similar to Sync 3, but it's a lot more responsive, and it's got some new features that obviously weren't available into the Sync 3 system. So I really like how they've added all these features, made it more responsive, and still a familiar layout. So if you've had Ford vehicles and if you are jumping from Sync 3 system, you don't have to relearn the whole thing. Everything is there. You've got a couple of new added features like the tiles I mentioned, the features tab, and all of that. But if you don't want to use all these new features, it's still a great system at its core. It's a very familiar layout, very responsive, and overall, I'm really impressed with the Sync 4 system. I can't wait to see them unveiling the Sync 4 system for the new Mustangs. That will be really nice to get the updated Sync system. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below what you think of the Sync 4 system if you've used it personally. And, of course, subscribe to Red 50 for more content.